batting 6th. Michael Aubrey bats 7th. Chad Moeller will catch and hit 8th, and Jeff Fiorentino is the center fielder batting 9th.
David Huff making the start for the Indians this afternoon. It'll be his 23rd start of the year. David is 10-8 this year, a .598 ERA. In his last start, it was a whale of a game out in Oakland. He lost to Brett Anderson, a 2-1 loss, and Anderson struck out 10, so David was the victim of no run support. But in his last 4 starts, he is 3-1 and a .288 ERA, so he is finishing strong. The A's in his last start, 2 for 10 with runners in scoring position off him. We'll see if he can do that again to the Baltimore Orioles. He has never faced the Orioles before, his very first start. So let's check out the defense behind Huff this afternoon. It looks like this, brought to you by Honda. In the outfield, it'll be Laporta in left, Crow in center, Chu is in right. Carroll is at third, Cabrera at short, Valbuena at second, Marte is at first, Kelly Shopping gets the duties behind the plate today.
Crew Chief Bob Davidson calling the balls and strikes here this afternoon. Todd Tischner is at first base, James Hoy at second, and Jeff Nelson down at third. Well, as we start play today, Detroit leads Minnesota by 2 games in the American League Central Division. They're both in action this afternoon, and of course tomorrow they will start their epic 4-game series showdown in Detroit. And as you said, just about everything else is already settled. Everything else is pretty much just counting down, waiting. Although that National League wild card is still interesting. Atlanta just 2 back of Colorado in the loss column heading into the final week of play. I mean, that's...
Well, they have
Atlanta's
2.5.
team. Yeah, but 2 in the loss column.
Oh,
Atlanta's the team nobody really talked about for a long time. They were just kind of lurking in the background, and all of a sudden... they got a win last night. Rockies went down, and there they are. Underway today as David Huff delivers down low, ball 1 to Brian Roberts. Our league leaders brought to you by the Indians Team Shops. Roberts among the top in runs scored. He's gone 2 for 7 in the series. And David Huff's 1-1. Line to right field, a base hit. So the Orioles get their leadoff man aboard to start the game.
Roberts just staying on this baseball, taking it the other way. So he will get the Orioles started off on the right foot this afternoon with a base hit.
Brings up Cesar Izturis. 1 for 4 the other night. Did not play in last night's game. And Huff goes right on with a first pitch strike. Huff 0-1. In the air, shallow right, going to be a tough play, going out, Valbuena with a diving catch. Oh, a sensational swan dive by Luis Valbuena, and he comes up with it, robbing Izturis of a base knock.
That is a very nice play. You know, if he doesn't get that ball, I still think Chu will throw out Roberts at second base. He dives for it, makes a beautiful play. This is going to be our McDonald's. I'm loving it. Comes up. Boy, you talk about being ready to start the game. That's a nice play for the second hitter of the ball game.
And that brings to the plate Matt Wieters. Roberts does have 29 steals, so Huff keeping a close eye on him. Wieters has gone 2 for 8 in the series. A .289 hitter for the Baltimore Orioles. 8 homers, 39 runs batted in.
And he's hitting 10 of the last 11. He's done a pretty good job in that number 3 hole since he has been inserted there not that long ago.
No balls, 2 strikes.
DHing today. The day game after the night game. They have Chad Moeller in there catching.
Ground ball to short. Cabrera to Valbuena. On to Marte, an inning-ending double play. And we will go to the bottom of the first here at Progressive Field. No score. Bottom of the first inning. Let's take a look at the starting lineup for Eric Wedge in the Tribe today. Jamie Carroll, Luis Valbuena, Asdrubal Cabrera, Chu, Peralta, and Laporta, Marte, Shopik, and Crow.
Chris Tillman on the mound for the Orioles this afternoon. 6'5", 195 pounds, 21 years old. So he was a youngster.
And Jamie Carroll looks at ball one. There's a fastball strike to even the count.
Started the year down in AAA Norfolk.
And Carroll goes the other way with a base hit to start the game for the Indians, much like Roberts did to start the game for the Orioles.
Let's take a look at that Orioles defense behind Tillman this afternoon. Scott's in left, Fiorentino is in center, Markakis in right, Wigington at third, Esturis at short, Roberts is at second, Albury at first, Moeller behind the plate. You look at the numbers for Chris Tillman, making his 12th start, a 2-4 record, 4.71 ERA. He did pitch once against the Indians in Baltimore. He went 5 innings, had a no decision, 6 hits, gave up 1 run. That was a solo home run to Johnny Peralta in that ball game. It was a no decision.
One-0 delivery. Caught the outside corner. Tillman was part of that bundle of players that the Mariners sent to Baltimore to acquire Eric Bedard. Adam Jones, George Sherrill, Cam Michelio, who we also have seen pitch against the Indians. All part of that deal. Tillman was originally a second-round pick of the Mariners back in '06. Valbuena takes a strike. He's having a good series. 4 for 8, double and a homer.
Funny thing about Tillman is that right-handers are hitting .336 off him with 8 homers, where left-handers are just hitting .242.
Carroll really not a base stealer, but they're paying attention to him like he is. There he takes off. They must have known something was up. And it's fouled away. You mentioned Chris Tillman's size. He's a guy who shot up among his classmates at an early age. When he was 13 years old, he could already dunk a basketball. But he gave up basketball and football after he was in the 9th grade so he could concentrate on pitching.
Well, it's paid off. He is a tall, skinny guy.
Valbuena lines it down the left field line. That'll send Carroll all the way to third base. Valbuena will dig for 2, and he'll go in standing with a double. So the Indians come out of the gate swinging the bats well here today. Second and third, nobody out in the first inning.
And Luis Valbuena stayed on a breaking ball and took it the other way. Watch, it stays up in the strike zone, and he just stayed with it. That ball was outside off the plate. That was probably 3 or 4 inches, but you can see the swing that he put on it. It was an easy pitch for him to keep fair because he just serves it the other way. Valbuena gets his 25th double, and the Indians in business here in the first.
Now Asdrubal Cabrera will try to give the Indians an early lead. And a pitch up high for ball 1. Cabrera 2 for 9 with a double in the series. He played a key role in the Indians' come from behind win last night. Slicing down the left field side and into the seats. Last night, Asdrubal Cabrera drove in the 4th run in a 4-run 4th inning for the Tribe with a base hit. And then in their 4-run 7th inning, he had a double and scored a run. Starting to come out of that mini funk. This is in the air, right center field. This is going to plug the gap. That's going to score a pair. Carroll scores. Here comes Valbuena. Asdrubal Cabrera with a 2-run double and 3 hitters into the game. The Tribe jumps to a 2-0 lead.
Well, Tillman better get the baseball down or he's going to get beat up today. He won't be around long for this one. Another pitch up in the strike zone, and Cabrera made him pay. His 41st double. Look at that. You talk about top of the strike zone. Look like a little slider. Stays right there. Speeds up his bat. And it doesn't hit it that hard. You see it checks up out there, but it's good enough to get the 2 runs in. Carroll Valbuena score. Indians on top, 2-0.
And now Shin-Soo Choo. With a runner at second, still nobody out in the first. And a fastball in there for strike 1. Shin-Soo Choo has gone 2 for 8 in the series with a home run. Missed outside with it. The 1-1. And Choo swings through it. Cabrera with his lead at second base. 1-2 to Choo, and it struck him out. First out of the ball game for Chris Tillman. And that'll bring up Johnny Peralta. Johnny Peralta providing our great clip of the game last night with a walk-off game-winning hit in the bottom of the ninth, scoring Luis Valbuena, helping the Tribes to a 9-8 victory. And Peralta now 3 for 8 in the series, steps in here. Johnny said last night he was, looking for a fastball or maybe even a sinker down and in, and he was able to get the bat out, even though he cracked the bat.
That's what he got, though. He got that little sinker down and in.
The 0-1. Missed away with it. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Well, it goes to show you, too, when you're a hitter and you have an idea, he's looking location as opposed to pitch. And you look in that location, and if you get it, you can still get a base knock even if you don't hit it hard. And he cracked his bat, but still, he was looking in that spot.
Too low, 2 balls and a strike. Dave Tremblay looking on as Johnny Peralta trying to chase down Shin-Soo Choo for the team lead and runs batted in. He's 2 behind him. 2-1 pitch, grounded in the hole. Nicely done by Wigington. He'll throw out Peralta. 2 down. Cabrera moving over to third base. Ty Wigington getting the start at third base today, and there are a lot of folks who say, look, if Melvin Moore doesn't come back, and it's unlikely that he will, free agent at the end of the year, this is the guy that'll be the Orioles' third baseman next year. Here's Matt Laporta. He'll bat in the 6th hole today for Eric Wedge. 2 for 4 the other night. Sat out last night's game. Checks on the ball down low. 1 ball, no strikes.
Got a nice little breeze blowing out to right field today. Looks like get one up in the air, heading it to right.
Yeah. Might get a little boost. Breaking ball in for a strike. 1-1 to count.
They say the next few days here are supposed to be very windy.
Yeah, especially tomorrow. That's what they're talking about anyway. White Sox come to town for the final 3 home games of the season. 1-1 pitch. Outside. Asdrubal Cabrera, a runner at third base with 2 down here in the first. 2 runs already in for the Tribe. Way outside. So Laporta in a good count here, 3-1. And he missed badly with that. So 2 on, 2 out here in the first. And Andy Marte is swinging a pretty hot bat right now and obviously loves to hit against the Birds. He'll be coming to the plate.
Andy Marte last night picking on a breaking ball right there. 2-run shot. Made it a 3-run inning. They added one after that, and for Marte, that was his 6th home run of the year.
Andy, a career .350 hitter against Baltimore. This year alone, he's gone 8 for 21 with 3 homers, 9 runs batted in.
Half of his home runs have come against the O's.
First pitch curve in there for a strike. Pop back out of play. No balls, 2 strikes. Drive out to a 2-0 lead here in the first inning. On the year, the Indians have been outscored coming into today's action 88-48 in the first inning.
Wow. A lot of early runs.
So this has been a pleasant turn of events. Yeah, when you're outscored by a 2-1 margin, you're always playing from behind.
Catch up.
And the second inning's not much better. In the air, right field. Coming in, Markakis. He's got to hurry. He can't get there. Scoring on the play is Cabrera. Laporta goes to third, and it's a 3-0 Indians lead as Andy Marte just blooped one down the right field line, and it found a soft place to settle for an RBI hit.
Well, he came in hard. It was a big swing. Gets off, or gets actually in on Marte. And just didn't hit it hard enough. Watch Markakis coming in. He thought he was going to get there, just could not get there. With 2 outs, everybody running. Cabrera scores. The Indians have put 3 on the board.
You know, this might be overthinking it, but I do wonder, you pointed out the wind and the way it's cutting across. I wonder if it might hit those right field seats and actually blow back towards home plate in right field today.
It very well could.
It may have really knocked that
down
ball
the line.
down
The line, it may have. He didn't hit it well because he was jammed with that pitch. But, you know, you look up at that flag as an outfielder, you see it blowing out, you may play a step or 2 deeper.
So first and third with 2 down. Kelly Shopik, the 8th man to bat in the inning, looks at a ball down low. This is Kelly Shopik's first appearance on the homestand. Missed outside. Two-0 delivery. Swung on and missed. Laporta the runner at third, Marte at first with 2 down. In inning number 1, Indians with 3 runs in. 2-1 count on Shopik. Good cut, but he found it right back, 2-2. Chris Tillman, Southern California native, finding a rough go of it here in the first inning. He's allowed 4 hits. He's walked 1, struck out 1. And this is his 33rd pitch of the inning. And Shopik drives it deep left field. If it's fair, it is gone to the home run porch. Kelly Shopik with a 2-out, 3-run homer makes it a 6-run first inning for the Tribe. 12th home run of the year for Shopik. And that bomb gives him 40 runs batted in on the year.
Well, he tried to sneak one by him inside, and to no avail because Shopik got around on it, and he was able to keep it fair. So the first time he has played on the homestand, and let's take a look at our Pepsi home run replay. See, he tried to sneak the fastball by him. Shopik brought the hands in and just gets it over, keeps it fair, and the Indians have put 6 on the board in the first.
So the rough has really gotten rough, or the going has really gotten rough for Chris Tillman, who had already allowed 3. And after retiring 2 batters, gives up 3 more. And Trevor Crowe, the 9th man to hit in the inning. Activity in the Baltimore bullpen. Right-hander Brian Bass. 35 pitches in for Chris Tillman.
Well, the Indians hitting with runners in scoring position.
Brian Roberts scoops it up. Indians bat around. They score 6, highlighted by Kelly Shopik's 3-run homer. And it's a 6-0 Indians lead after 1. Brought to you by Continental Airlines, official airline of the Cleveland Indians. Continental Airlines, work hard, fly right. By McCafe Coffees at McDonald's, all made to order with fresh ground espresso beans. And by All Care Dental and Dentures, we make seeing the dentist easy. Beautiful Sunday afternoon here in downtown Cleveland. 6-zip, Tribe on top after 1 inning. Nick Markakis leads off the second for Baltimore. And a pitch down low. 2 balls, no strikes. Markakis, Luke Scott, Ty Wigington for the Orioles here in inning number 2. At the knees, 2-1. Three balls and a strike. Markakis in a funk. Just 6 hits in his last 50 at-bats coming in. His 1 hit in the series was a home run, and now this one deep to left, and a nice running catch by Matt Laporta on the warning track. 1 away. Today's injury report brought to you by the attorneys at Friedman, Damiano and Smith. When you're injured, depend on us. Find Friedman, Damiano and Smith online at fdslaw.com. Felix Piet, as we alluded to last night, he strained his quad in the first game of this series, and based on what we saw, we didn't think he'd be back in this series, and that has turned out to be true. Luke Scott goes the other way, crosses up the shift. Laporta cuts it off. Long throw, and he'll hold Scott to a base hit. So Scott aboard with 1 out here in the second inning.
Well, the one reason he's able to beat it and not try and pull that ball because he left it upstairs. Laporta cuts it off. Will hold him to a single. Second hit for the Orioles.
Ty Wigington steps in. And Huff bounces the ball in to Kelly Shopping. One ball, one strike to count on Wigington. 3 for 9 in the series. Wigington has hit in 7 straight. This in the air, center field. Crow breaks in to make the catch. 2 down. Don't forget to stop by and check out Alvin's Jewelers Pray for Rain promotion going on right now. You buy an engagement ring at Alvin's Jewelers. If it rains on your wedding day, your engagement ring is free. Log on to alvinsjewelers.com for all the details. Michael Aubrey has had a good series against his old club. He's gone 3 for 7 with a double and a homer. But it's the Indians who've won the first 2 and lead here 6-0 in Game 3. Little jam job the other way. Jamie Carroll ends up going basket style to make the catch. And we'll go to the bottom of the second. 6-0 Tribe. Zip in favor of the Indians. They sent 9 men to the plate in the first inning. Scoring 6 times, highlighted by Kelly Shopping's 2-out, 3-run homer. Jamie Carroll will lead off the second inning. He singled and scored in the first. Chris Tillman's pitch hangs high for ball 1, evens the count.
Boy, those 3-run home runs can do a lot of damage, boy. especially with 2 outs.
Yeah, he had a chance to get out of that inning with a little respectability. But that blast put his team in a big hole.
Yeah, now you get to the point now where if Tillman stays in this ball game, you have to put zeros up the rest of the way, and if he doesn't do it, and you go to that bullpen, they have to do it to enable your team to get back into the game.
Foul tipped, and Carroll strikes out, 1 down. Kelly Shopik's home run in the first inning means we raise more money for the Gathering Place. And that puts our total, we're up over $9,100 now. There it is, $93.60. Luis Valbuena looks at a ball down low. He doubled and came around to score in the first. Popped it up out in front of the plate. Third baseman Wigington makes the grab, 2 down. Today's Alltel text poll question of the game. It looks like this. Who do you think should win the National League Comeback Player of the Year award? Well, there are your choices. You tell us. Text your answer to 31962. We'll have the results later in the game. I think I'd vote for Chris Carpenter. That's just me.
Okay, don't bust that limb you're standing on in that redwood.
Well, I mean, he's really come back nicely. Swing and a miss by Cabrera, 0-2 the count. Bounced it in there. Now the 1-2. I know this is going to be a future Alltel text poll question of the game, but we can at least start thinking about it now. The National League Cy Young winner is going to be, it's going to come down to Wainwright and Carpenter, 2 teammates.
You think so?
I really do. There's a line drive opposite way for Cabrera. Well, Wainwright leads the league in 19 wins. Carpenter's second. Carpenter leads the league in ERA. Wainwright's third. Wainwright leads the league in innings pitched. I know Tim Lincecum's going to certainly get some consideration.
Redbird's loving you now.
Yeah. And the fact that they're both pitching St. Louis to the postseason this year is going to help. Shin-Soo Choo struck out his first time up, got behind in the count, and then Tillman looked like he threw him a fastball that was just above the belt, maybe in a little bit, and Choo was caught in between. And he doesn't like that call as it catches the outside corner, 0-2. Cabrera takes off, and I think it hit him, didn't it?
Yes, it did.
I didn't see Bob Davidson make a signal, but obviously it did. Cabrera down to second. Choo down on the count, 0-2. I mean, the last thing you want to do, you're trying to get out of the inning if you're Chris Tillman.
Well, he's going inside, and you watch, he couldn't get out of the way. He spins and turns. And, yeah, that's just way too far inside. Ouch. That one ball, that just stuck there for a while before it fell, didn't it? Almost like he caught it with between his arm and his ribs.
Maybe he caught it between two ribs. So 2 Indians aboard with 2 out, and Johnny Peralta grounded out to third his first time up. Away, ball 1. Ryan Bass up again in that Baltimore bullpen as Tillman's already over 50 pitches with 2 outs here in the second. Grounded hard to third. Wigington bobbles it, recovers, throws, didn't get him. They call him safe on a bang play at first, and the Indians have the bases loaded with 2 down, and that did not help Chris Tillman at all. He needed to get out of this inning, but Wigington, when he went to field it, had it kick off his chest.
Well, he's throwing a lot of pitches, and he just booted the ball. That's what I was going to say. When you're talking about him playing every day third base next year, that's the one problem he has. He's not a very good third baseman. And this one keeps the inning going. I thought, well, it's bang, very close. So the inning will continue after the hit batter, the error, the 88th of the year.
And they're loaded with 2 down for Matt Laporta, who walked and scored his first time up. And Laporta slams one deep center field. Fiorentino makes a catch in the webbing of his mitt and hangs on to end the inning. Well, he may have just saved the day for Baltimore, but the Indians still lead it 6-0 after 2.
There's Gabe, his first game in that blue hat back
Royal
there.
blue.
Yes, indeed. Friend of Darlene Wodick, who works over at Channel 3. So Gabe enjoying it. We got to get him an Indians hat, for goodness sakes.
Question is, do they have him enough runs?
Well, that was a great play right there by Fiorentino to end that inning. Surprised he's not leading the inning off. He's second.
Yeah.
Normally you make a play like that, you get to lead the inning off. But, boy, that saved 3 runs. That was a very good play.
I tell you, off the bat, I thought it was going to get down. I thought it was going to be extra bases. And
He ran a perfect route to it.
2-0 pitch. Chad Moeller takes a strike. 2-1 the count. 2-2 as David Huff comes back to even the count. Swung on and missed, and Huff comes all the way back to get the strikeout. So from 2-0 to punch out, one down here in the third.
Well, let's take a look at that catch to end the inning. Look at him on his horse, and he runs, and that's just a beautiful route. And right at the end, he puts that glove out where it doesn't have any wasted steps. And a fine catch. That saves 3 runs right there.
And Jeff Fiorentino, who's seen some limited action in the series, 0 for 1. One ball, one strike. But in that limited action, he drew a key walk last night in the 9th inning and came around to score the tying run that sent the game to the bottom of the 9th. Lines one past a diving Cabrera here for a 1-out single. Heck of an effort by Asdrubal, who almost came up with that.
Now they have had a hit in every inning. And he picks on a breaking ball. There you'll see Cabrera. That ball is just by him. Good effort, but it'll go as a base hit. Now back to the top of the lineup.
One ball, no strikes for Brian Roberts, who had a base hit his first time up. David Huff, who began his college career at UC Irvine, but then transferred to a junior college following his freshman year. In the air left field, Laporta pulls it in, 2 down. Let's go back to the STO studios for a Forward Sports update. Here's Al Pulaski with the latest on the Braves as they try to chase that wild card spot in the National League.
Yes, Matt, trying to make up some ground here on the Rockies, but early on it's all Nationals. Ryan Zimmerman, his career-high 32nd home run, put the Nats up 1-0. Josh Willingham went yard right after him, back-to-back. 2-0 Nats now, top of the second in the nation's capital over the Braves.
All right, thanks, Al. Cesar Torres, he was robbed of a hit on a terrific defensive play by Luis Valbuena in the first inning. This time it's Chu who comes in and has to leap up to make the catch, and the inning is over. So Baltimore is still scoreless through 3, and the Indians are on top 6-0. 6-zip Tribe on top as we go to the bottom of the third inning. And we've got a pitching change for Baltimore already.
Brian Bass coming on for the 47th time. His record is 5-3. He's going to face Marte, Shopik, and Crow.
Andy Marte drove in a run with 2 outs in the first inning. A little bloop single that dropped in shallow right field. Two balls and a strike. And Marte gets into one pretty well. Center field, but right there is Fiorentino. 1 down. Aerial coverage today provided by Goodyear. New Fuel Max tires help you get there on less gas. Calculate your savings at GoodyearTires.com.
Had blimps on an every other day plan, I guess. Friday night it was here. Had a very nice view, as we do this afternoon. Took the right night off yesterday.
Yeah, if it was here last night, I don't know.
I don't think it would have went up.
Kelly Shopik looks at a strike. Shop's 2-out, 3-run homer in the first capped a 6-run inning for the Tribe. Backing up third, Wigington throws him out, 2 down. Here's our Subway fresh face of the game for this Sunday afternoon. Vinny Pistano at AA Akron at 24 saves for the Eastern League champs. Subway, play hard, eat fresh. Trevor Crow has grounded out to second base back in the first inning. Gone 3 for 9 in the series. One on one to count for Crow. Ground ball to second. Routine for Roberts. Throws him out. Indians go 1-2-3. After 3 innings of play, it remains Cleveland 6, Baltimore nothing. Fourth inning here at Progressive Field, 6-0 Cleveland. Matt Wieters, Nick Markakis, and Luke Scott for Baltimore. Down low. I was saying earlier, David Huff started his college career at University of California, Irvine. Transferred to junior college following his freshman year. And after that year, he was drafted by the Philadelphia Phillies. But he turned down their offer to pitch for the UCLA Bruins. Huff was pretty dominant in the Pac-10. Had 3 complete games in his first 6 starts for UCLA. And then, of course, the Indians made him their first-round pick in 06 out of the Southern California Pac-10 power. 2-2. Scoreboard update brought to you by Wendy's. Way better than fast food. It's Wendy's. Full count. Popped him up. Andy Marte gives way to Valbuena. 1 down. Well, Sports Time Ohio is proud to be a sponsor of the Project Love program called Searching for Teen Leaders. This program allows you to nominate extraordinary teen leaders that you know in grades 7 through 12. To learn more and to nominate a teen, visit projectlove.org. Nick Markakis flied to left his first time up. Check swing foul. When David Huff was at UCLA, he got a chance to meet Barry Zito, who showed up at the school to work out. And he said, I was kind of starstruck, but tried to soak up as much as I could. Pretty natural anytime an aspiring player gets to meet somebody from the big leagues, but especially if you're a left-handed pitcher and you get to meet a guy like a Barry Zito.
He was a Cy Young Award winner over here when he was with Oakland.
You want to take advantage of those opportunities. Plus, as you know, as we came to know Barry Zito when he was with Oakland, wasn't a guy who was afraid to think outside the box.
No, he was not. Free spirit.
Convention was not his thing. Breaking ball, big bouncer. Marte, the flip. 2 down.
Well, we would like you to fill the house for the United Way of Greater Cleveland. That'll be Wednesday. The White Sox are in town. The very last home game of the year, as a matter of fact. And for every ticket sold, $1 will be donated to the charity. And this season-long community outreach program has raised over $500,000 for local charities.
Here now is Luke Scott. Luke Scott singled his first time up. Actually lined a single to left going the other way with that shift on. The Indians have 3 on the right side, as you see there. Evens the count at 1-1. A little bit high. Shoots that one off the facing of the dugout and then rolls back onto the field.
Send along some birthday wishes. Clara Leone of Struthers is turning 100 this afternoon. Clara, happy birthday to you. Yvonne Faulkner of Cleveland turning 32. Judith Jones of Ashtabula is 9 today. Happy birthday to all of you. And then Julius and Marguerite Oros of Illyria celebrating their 68th wedding anniversary. Congratulations.
Swung on and missed. David Huff gets his second strikeout, and the Orioles go 1-2-3 for the first time today. Welcome back to Progressive Field as we look at the AT&T building here in downtown Cleveland. 6-zip, Tribe on top. Home half of the fourth inning. Jamie Carroll looks at a ball outside. Jamie Carroll 1 for 2, singled and scored in the first inning. The Orioles, after that home run by Kelly Shopik in the first inning, have now given up 204 home runs on the year. Redbird did a little research. The first time a team allowed 200 homers in a season was 1964, and it was the Kansas City Athletics who gave up 220 that year. Now here's where it gets interesting. Between 1964 and 1994, so you're talking about a 30-year stretch, there were 7 teams that gave up 200 or more homers in a single season. Since then, 60 teams have given up 200 or more homers.
That's a lot.
Includes Milwaukee and Baltimore this year. The record was set by the 1996 Tigers. I might have to go back and look up how many of those were hit by the Indians. They gave up 241 that year. Whew. And the Indians, that you remember, that's the year they swept the season series from Detroit. But, yeah, that's amazing. 7 times over
I think
a 30-year
from the 90s,
stretch.
that's okay. You're getting into the 90s. From that point on, the stadiums or the ballparks have become much smaller.
And the players got a lot bigger.
Yes. Combination of both.
Interesting also, Rick, in that list, the 1987 Twins gave up 210 homers and won the World Series.
Yes, they did.
But more often than not, if you give up a lot of homers, it usually means you're having a bad year. The 87 Indians gave up 219. In fact, There were 4 teams that year. The Orioles, Indians, Angels, and Twins in 1987 all gave up 200 or more homers. Now Valbuena draws a free pass, and now back-to-back walks here in the 4th. And Rick Kranitz, the pitching coach, is wearing a path out to that mound today. Our Northern Ohio Toyota dealers game recap. Asdrubal Cabrera, 2-run single in the first, made it 3-0. And then Andy Marte dropped a single in. That made it 5-0. That made it 3-0. Excuse me. And then Kelly Shopik's 3-run homer made it 6-zip. For a dealer near you, visit buyatoyota.com. Cabrera trying to do some more damage.
Well, he won't throw him strikes. These guys that are sitting out there behind Brian Bass are thinking, boy, let's go. You're down 6-0. The last thing you can do is start walking people.
Those guys standing behind him are also looking over at Dave Tremblay saying, we got 11 other guys out in that bullpen.
Yeah.
Start trying somebody else.
At least. Well, you can see Chris Lambert is up and getting loose.
Cabrera lines one to left field. That's a base hit. Carroll coming around third, going to be waved home. Luke Scott just lobs it into third, and the Indians lead it 7-0. Cabrera's 3rd RBI on the afternoon. Now gives him 68 on the year.
Well, Cabrera not trying to pull the ball, stays on it. It's a little two-seam fastball. Gets the bonus. He's going to get an RBI because Scott playing back, and by the time he can get to the ball, no play at the plate. Carroll scores. It's now 7-0 Tribe.
Checks on a ball down low. Shin-Soo Choo has struck out and been hit by a pitch. In there for a strike. He did not go around. Two on, nobody out. 2-1 pitch to Choo. Swung on and missed. Brian Bass with his 25th pitch gets a strikeout, first out here in the inning. Choo's having a rough day, a couple of punch outs. Let's go back to the STO studios. Ford Sports Update. Al has the latest on the AL Central race.
Matt, Rick, the Tigers taking on the White Sox. Rookie Daniel Hudson throwing for the Sox. Curtis Granderson says, hi, rookie. Second pitch of the game, his 28th homer of the year. Tigers take the early lead 1-0 at U.S. Cellular Field. Back to you.
All right, thanks, Al. Twins Royals scoreless in the first at Kauffman Stadium. Johnny Peralta Officially 0 for 2 here today. Grounded out to third his first time up, then reached on an error by third baseman Ty Wigington in the second. Gets away from the catcher Moeller, and the runners will try to move up, throw to third, not even close. So Indians at second and third with only one out now.
Actually got a late read on this as he throws it off. And you can see it get over to the grass. And look at Valbuena. There he is. He's going to break. And then following is Cabrera. Actually should have never even thrown that ball to third.
Yeah. Infield in now. And Johnny grounds it to Joel Skinner, who got a hand on it. See how they score that.
That's going to be a base hit. Put the right arm to it and tried to spin out of the way. You know, normally they try and get out of the way. They don't do that. They don't try and stop them, especially with no glove.
He's looking at his fingers now.
Yeah, it doesn't feel good.
Again, the Orioles had the infield drawn in with runners at second and third and one out. And Peralta fouls it away. This will already be the 30th pitch for Brian Bass, who's worked an inning and a third. Chris Tillman, the starter, went 2 innings, 6 runs on 6 hits allowed. The 2-2. A bit wide, full count. Matt Laporta would be next. The only question is, will he face Bass or will Dave Tremblay go back to that bullpen? Now the set. And the 3-2. High fly ball, left field, way back. Scott on the track. And at the fence, jumps up, makes the catch. Tagging and coming home is Valbuena. Cabrera retreats to second. And the Indians now lead it 8-0. As Peralta picks up his 81st run batted in on the year.
He gets a ball up in the zone. That's another hanging, breaking ball, and he's lucky that stayed in the yard. I'm talking about Brian Bass because Johnny did not miss it by much. And that wind blowing out may have just knocked it down a little bit out in front of that big wall in left field. But it will get the job done. He will drive in a run. For Peralta, his 81st ribby.
Matt Laporta flied to center his last time up, and if you remember, that was a great play by Fiorentino. Otherwise, this game could be well out of hand. This time he bounces one up the gut. Torres will throw him out. Indians tack on 2 more, and through 4, it's 8-zip Cleveland. Play hard, eat fresh. And by Alltel Wireless. Choose who you call for free with My Circle. Any number, any network. Well, we're back here at Progressive Field where it's all Indians so far today. 8-zip. Tribe on top. And David Huff, the beneficiary. As he has been a number of times. Yeah.
He gets probably some of the best run support in an Indians uniform. They're averaging just a hair under 6 runs a game for him this year. And they are over that today. They had 6 in the very first inning.
I'll say this for David Huff, because we did talk about the fact that, he's in double figures in win, but his ERA at that time, when he first got to 10 wins, was over 6. He's got it down to 5.98. At the moment, down to 5.79. And I know in the month of September, you don't use that to evaluate or make judgments, but in the 3 starts coming into today, in September, 2-1, 284 earned run average. So on the plus side of that, you look at it and say, well, at least he hasn't hit a wall and has run out of gas. Nice catch by Chu over the shoulder style for out number 1. And he's trying to finish out his rookie campaign by pitching strong and pitching well.
Well, the last guy to win 10 games, the last rookie to win 10 games for the Indians was Ryan Drees back in 2002.
And his ERA was...
Well, yes, it was
6,
up there.
I think.
And he will become the first Indians rookie to lead the team in wins since CeCe did it in 01 when he had 17.
Michael Aubrey popped out to third his first time up. Popped him up again. Laporta and Crow converge. Trevor Crow has it, 2 away. What do you say we take a spin around the park with our All Care Dental and Dentures Smilin' Easy Cam? A special hello to our All Care friends watching today in Columbus, Ohio. All Care Dental and Dentures make seeing the dentist easy. Chad Moeller with 2 down and the bases empty. Struck out his first time up. Up high, 2 balls, no strikes. Huff's 2-0. Right back over the screen. The Indians will welcome in the Chicago White Sox tomorrow. Baltimore is off to Tampa. Go down to play a 4-game series against the Rays in St. Pete. Line over the head of Valbuena, gave it a game effort, but now it's in the alley, and Chu trying to cut it off. And holds Moeller to a 2-out single.
He had it timed. It was just about 6 inches out of his reach. See, that ball gets over his glove. So Moeller will get a base hit. 4th hit on the afternoon.
Jeff Fiorentino had a base hit his first time up. Orioles have 4 hits in the game. 2 by left-handers, 2 by right-handed hitters. This is the first. Marte with a backhand, inning over. We'll go to the bottom of the 5th. 8-0 Cleveland. Back here at Progressive Field, there's a look at John Tennant, who's the father of our very own Kevin Tennant, and his future father-in-law. Who's the one putting the thumbs up? Is that Dad or is that the future father-in-law? If it's your future father-in-law giving you the thumbs up already, there's a talk we need to have with him. New pitcher now for Baltimore. Chris Lambert, right-hander. Last pitch 6 days ago in Toronto. Fastball strike to Andy Marte, who's 1 for 2 with an RBI single today. One pitch. A little bit low. 2-1. Marte, Kelly Shopik, Trevor Crow here in the home half of the 5th for the Tribe. They put up a 6 spot in the 1st today. Andy Marte had a key bloop, if not fortuitous, hit in that 1st inning that kept the inning alive. And Kelly Shopik followed him with a 3-run homer that capped the 6-run 1st. And we just came off a stretch of games where we know exactly the kind of feeling that's on the Baltimore side right now, because that was the Indians during that streak. They'd have a big inning early, fall behind, and these two teams aren't built to catch up like that.
They're on a 9-game losing streak and looking to be 10. And you're right, that was pretty much the MO. Early in a ball game, you'd be, a big inning. You have to play catch up, and then when you did, then it seemed like your bullpen never was able to hold it. Just a bad combination of everything.
Swung on and missed. Andy Marte goes down. 4th strikeout for Baltimore pitching. Here's another look at the Alltel Text Bowl question of the game. National League Comeback Player of the Year. Text your answer to 31962. Rick, you got a thought there for us?
I would have to think you hit it nail on the head. Chris Carpenter having the best year out of anybody over there on that list.
Breaking ball in there for a strike. And I'm trying to remember, was he hurt last year or did he just have a bad year?
No, I think he was injured.
Popped him up. Should be playable here. Michael Aubrey. In foul ground. 2 down.
Well, visit the official online shop of the Cleveland Indians at Indians.com. You can browse the largest on-sign selection of authentic merchandise, including caps, t-shirts, jerseys, and more. You get your team gear straight from the source. That's Indians.com.
Well, Trevor Crow slides into home plate 0-for-2 here today. A couple of ground outs to second base. Two balls, no strikes. Bouncing ball up the middle, it's through. And Trevor Crow has his first hit of the day.
Gets on top of that baseball, but finds a hole up the middle. 8 hits now for the Indians, and that's the first for Trevor this afternoon.
Long look in. 0-2 pitch. Outside. Seems like every year there's a team on your schedule that you don't see until late in the season.
Right.
This year it was Baltimore. Next year it looks like it's going to be Seattle. Check swing, did he go? He did, and that'll do it. So we've played 5 complete, and the Indians lead the Orioles 8-0. Beautiful day for sailing. Not a bad day to sit at Progressive Field and watch the Tribe as they're beating up on Baltimore 8-0. And here's David Huff just cruising along. 6th inning. Brian Roberts 1 for 2. One and one the count. Twins and Royals still scoreless. They're in the 2nd inning at Kauffman Stadium. Meanwhile, the Tigers and White Sox tied at 1. 2 balls and a strike. Caught the outside corner with it, 2-2. That's scary that Brian Roberts has a double against every other team except the Indians.
Well, when you have 55, so yeah, you're right. You figure, well, we never played them till end of August.
And then he walks him here. That is the first walk allowed by David Huff today. Time now for our direct energy bringing the gas sequence.
Go back to 5th inning, Luke Scott. Huff misses with a fastball, comes back in and hits with one. Misses up top, gets him to foul off a breaking ball and gets him to chase the curveball out of the zone there.
Direct Energy, simple solutions for your natural gas supply needs. Cesar Esturez is 0 for 2. Esturez had a hit taken away from him in the 1st inning on a beautiful diving catch made by Luis Valbuena, then lined out hard to right field in the 3rd. Scorches one foul. Friday afternoons on Sports Time Ohio, join Mike Cairns for the National Institute of Technology Ohio High School Kickoff Show. Mike previews the weekend of high school football games and gets you up to date on the Mac Attack STO Power Poll rankings. The Ohio High School Kickoff Show, Friday afternoons at 3:30, only on STO and STO HD. Tapper to the mound. Huff on the move, goes to second. Valbuena takes it for the out. Is Torres down at first on the fielder's choice.
Huff able to get off the mound quickly. He sets himself and makes sure he's just going to give a good feed because you're only going to get one in that situation. So you take it. It was a good throw to Valbuena. They get the lead runner.
Matt Wieters 0 for 2. Wieters grounded into an inning-ending double play in the first. Up high, 2-0. Huff really pitching well here today and backed by a ton of offense. Out of play. Now the 2-1 pitch. Swung on and missed. Evens the count. Up to this point, still there's a long way to go, but up to this point, this is probably the best we've seen him throw since that game. Remember back in Pittsburgh when he went the 8 shutout innings?
I certainly do. And he wanted to go back out there for the 9th, and he had, about 108, 109 pitches.
Well, if we're splitting hairs, 112 to be exact.
Thank you. Okay, getting close. I knew he had, a few, and they couldn't send him back out there.
Yeah. Swing and a miss. Got him to go fish. Third strikeout for Huff. 2 down here in the 6th inning. Aerial coverage today provided by Goodyear. New Fuel Max tires help you get there on less gas. Calculate your savings at GoodyearTires.com. Boy, it's a beautiful day. Some great shots from up high above in the blimp.
Yeah, look how much outfield there is to cover for those 3 guys, huh? A lot of green grass out there.
Outside ball 1. Fastball strike. Nick Markakis 0 for 2 here today. 1 for 10 in the series. And that 1 was a home run. Came in the series opener. Liner to second, right at Cabrera. I mean, he was right in his tracks, never moved. We'll go to the bottom of the 6th. It remains Cleveland 8, Baltimore nothing. Indians lead the Orioles 8-0, bottom of the 6th inning. And Luis Valbuena leading off, take a strike. Doubled and scored in the first. Valbuena walked and scored in the 4th. Big bouncer towards second. Roberts swallows it up, throws him out.
Well, visit any of the Northeast Ohio Indians Team Shop locations, including the new Team Shop at the Strip in North Canton. Indians Team Shop, your source for game tickets and authentic Indians merchandise.
Yes, Dribble Cabrera, a perfect 3 for 3 on the afternoon. 2 singles, a double, 2 runs batted in, and a run scored. He rocks indeed. Make it 4 for 4. He's got a magic wand in his hands today, and whatever he wants to do, he's doing it. He doubled to right center first time up. Blooped one to left in the second. Went the other way in the 4th. This time he lines one over the head of Roberts.
Well, you have those kind of days, boy. I tell you, the good hitters, they get one early and they get greedy. And they want 2. And now Cabrera has 4. And the next at bat he's going to get, he'll want from number 5.
That's his 5th 4-hit game of the year. He had a 4-hit game in April, 1 in May. Actually, 2 in May. 1 on August the 18th, and now his 5th of the year.
That's pretty impressive, trailing only Denard Span.
And just as Cabrera has had a can't do anything wrong kind of a day, Shin-Soo Choo's had a day at the other end of the spectrum. Couple of strikeouts. He was hit by a pitch in the second inning, and he was down 0-2 in that at bat. So there are some days where you feel like
can't do anything right.
Yeah. Wondering, why did I get out of bed today? Swing and a miss.
I was thinking the same thing.
He got him again. How about that? 3 strikeouts for Choo. And with 2 down, it'll bring up Johnny Peralta. Third strikeout, meanwhile, for Chris Lambert, who is the only Orioles pitcher thus far to not allow a run. Johnny Peralta drove in the last run of this game with a sacrifice fly in the 4th inning. One ball, 1 strike. Now the 2-1 coming to Peralta. And it's back over the screen. Hey, Browns Trips packs are still available. Build your own 3-game ticket plan, including the interstate battle against the Bengals for under $100. Get your Browns Trips pack online at clevelandbrowns.com. Two. Johnny shoots it foul the other way. Mike Sarbaugh next to Eric Wedge, who managed the Akron Arrows to a fantastic season down at AA. Eastern League champs.
Sit down there and pick the brain a little bit. See what's going on. Relaxing 8-0 lead right now.
The 2-2 to Peralta. Swung on and missed. Fourth strikeout for Chris Lambert. And he gets out of the sixth. But the Indians still lead it 8-0. Brought to you by Direct Energy, offering simple solutions for all your natural gas needs. Visit directenergy.com/GoTry for details. And by AM/PM, too much good stuff. It's an 8-0 Indians lead. They are going today. Luke Scott, Ty Wigington, Michael Aubrey to face David Huff, who's working on a 4-hit shutout through 6. Scott 1 for 2 with a single back in the second inning. $80 pitches so far on the day for David Huff.
Well, he's made it look easy, hasn't he, to this point? He has been on cruise control. They have had 4 hits. He's had 1, 2, 3 inning back in the fourth. Last inning, he retired him after a leadoff walk. 10 in the air, 5 on the ground, and 3 punch-outs.
One delivery. Swing and a miss. Now the 1-2 pitch. That time Luke Scott able to hold up. Huff looking for his 4th strikeout. And Scott spoils it. Two balls, 2 strikes. Luke Scott leading off the 7th for the Birds. David Huff with pitch number 85. A little bit outside, full count. Ty Wigington waits on deck. And Michael Aubrey here in the 7th. And the payoff pitch. Back to the mound, gets through, and a diving stop by Carroll, and the throw not in time.
Boy, good effort right there by Jamie Carroll.
Carroll, who's playing third base today, was on the second base side of the bag with that shift on, and he made a terrific diving stop.
Well, this ball, it would look like David Huff tried to backhand it as it goes by him. Gets up the middle, and you figure there's no chance. And then he makes a throw and makes it a lot closer than what it really was. So that'll be a base hit for Luke Scott, but very good effort by Jamie Carroll.
Now Ty Wigington. Wigington 0 for 2 today. Eight zip. Tribe on top. Double play ball to second. Valbuena to Cabrera. On to Marte. A twin killer. 4-6-3 on that double play. Second double play turn by the Indians infield today, and we'll go back to the STO studios for a Ford Sports update. Al has the latest on the Twins and the Royals.
Well, guys, with Chicago right now tied with Detroit at 1, Minnesota trying to gain some ground here and not going to do it early. Unieski Betancourt, 3-run homer here in the bottom of the second, is 6th of the year. Royals take a 3-0 lead over Minnesota. Top of the third there. Back to you.
Well, they can't fall too far behind against Zach Greinke.
You give Zach Greinke a 3-spot early, that's going to be tough to come back on.
Michael Aubrey fouls one out of play. He's 0 for 2 today.
David Huff has not allowed a runner past first base today. That's how good he has been. Has a couple of double play balls. He has scattered 5 singles.
And he hasn't thrown in an abundance of strikes. 55 out of his 90. Good ratio, but it's not like he's been, well, that time he just 1, 2, 3, see you later. That's his 4th strikeout of the day, and he's feeling it now. Panini's newest and largest location is now open in Westlake with a brand new menu, and that new menu is coming to a Panini's near you. Stay up to date. Visit them online at paninisgrill.com. 8-zip. Indians lead it as we go to the bottom half of the seventh. It'll be Matt Laporta, Andy Marte, and Kelly Shopik. David Huff.
He is cruising today.
Yes, he is.
He's tossing a gem out there.
Trying to equal his career best start. Lou Montanez has come on for Baltimore, taking over for Markakis in right field. Justin Turner is now in at second base. So Dave Tremblay resting a couple of his veterans as we go into the late innings here. Matt Laporta 0 for 2. He walked and scored in the first. That's hit high in the air. Deep left field. Back it goes and gone to the home run porch for Matt Laporta. His 7th home run of the year. 9-zip Indians.
Well, you could just tell how he got after that pitch on the inside part of the plate. That ball was getting out of here. So another home run for the Indians, second of the day. That'll be our Pepsi home run replay. Watch how he gets on top of that high pitch and does it in down the left field line. He knew it.
And now the Indians have touched up every Oriole pitcher in the game for at least one. Tillman, the starter, gave up 6 runs in his 2 innings of work. Brian Bass allowed 2 runs in his 2 innings. And now Chris Lambert in his 3rd inning of relief has allowed 1. Turner grabs it, 1 down.
Well, you can make it the best spring training baseball vacation ever if you book your trip to Goodyear, Arizona for 2010 spring training right now. Just visit Indians.com, spring travel, or you can call 1-800-892-7687. And you can get some more information about Goodyear, Arizona and the local attractions, hotel accommodations. Visit GoodyearArizona.gov.
Kelly Shopik takes that fastball, goes right back up the gut with it. His 2nd hit of the day. Just mashed it right back through the box. And Kelly Shopik, who hit the 3-run homer that capped the 6-run first inning, has a couple of hits on the afternoon. And Shopik, not only that, but he's now hit in 4 straight games, giving him 7 hits in his last 16 at-bats. Trevor Crowe tips it, foul, back. Hitting .290 over his last 30 games. Four for 11 in the series with a double. Swung on and missed. Kicks away from Moeller. And down to second goes Kelly Shopik on the wild pitch. Crowe, an infield single his last time up. Bounces one on the right side. Aubrey, the flip. 2 down. Kelly Shopik moves over to third. And we'll turn it to the top of the order now, Jamie Carroll. Carroll has singled, walked, scored 2 runs, and struck out twice. Well, Minnesota's threatening against Zach Greinke. Bases loaded, 2 outs. You say no dice.
Nope.
Carroll back out of play.
I say no dice.
Negative, Ghost Rider. A little bit low, 1 ball, 1 strike. Took something off, 1-2. Now the 1-2 pitch. Boy, didn't miss by much. A little bit wide, full count. Now the set and the 2-2. Just foul over there. No, you're right. He got out of it, struck him out swinging. Jason Kubel went down whiffing with the bases loaded. What are you? Yeah, I think you're Kreskin.
No, I'll tell you, when you have an ERA at just a hair over 2, you're not going to give up many 2-out base hits when you have a chance to get out of it. That's just the way the year's gone for that kid.
Back to the screen it goes. Shopik, the runner at third base. With 2 down here in the bottom of the 7th. And the 2-2 pitch. Strike 3 called, and the inning is over. But Matt Laporta's 7th home run of the year has extended the Indians' lead to 9-zip.
Produced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Cleveland Indians.
Indians 9, Orioles nothing. 8th inning here at Progressive Field. Chad Moeller, Jeff Fiorentino, and Justin Turner for Baltimore. Chad Moeller 1 for 2. He has struck out and singled today. David Huff, 92 pitches. And the 1-1 high with it. Indians White Sox start a 3-game series tomorrow night here at Progressive Field. We'll have all 3 games for you on Sports Time Ohio. And tomorrow night at 7, it's Aaron Laffey against John Danks. Should be a good pitching matchup in that one. Both pitchers ERA under 4. Marte couldn't quite get to it before it trickled foul. Now the 2-2. Ooh. Full count. Now Huff looks in for the payoff pitch. And the 3-2. Little tapper, foul.
That's fine.
Again, the 3-2. Bouncing ball to short. Cabrera sets and throws, and he got him one away.
Well, Wednesday, when the Indians will close out their home portion of this season against the White Sox, it's your chance to win autographed items and other great prizes. The Indians want to say thank you to all the fans for their support throughout the year. Go visit the Progressive Field box office or Indians.com for your tickets. That'll be on Wednesday, Fan Appreciation Night.
Jeff Fiorentino 1 for 2 with a base hit. Came back in the 3rd inning. David Huff now at 100 pitches on the day, trying to equal his career high in innings pitched. And this scoreboard update is brought to you by Coors Light. Frost brewed Coors Light, the world's most refreshing beer. A little bit high, 1-2. Tigers White Sox still tied at 1, bottom of the 5th in Chicago. Now the 2-2. Up high with it, full count. Stay tuned after the ball game today. We've had Mount Union football coming up at 4:30 as the Purple Raiders battle Muskingum. Foul tipped into the glove of Shopik. 5th strikeout for David Huff. 2 down here in the 8th.
Now I have him down 0-2. He got the count back to 3-2, and there you'll see, gets one by him. Strikeout number 5 for David Huff.
After Mount Union football, we've got All Bets Are Off later tonight with Bruce Drennan. He'll take your calls and emails. Talk about the weekend in sports. Browns-Ravens game today. And then at 9, Golf Zone with Jimmy Hanlon. The 1-0. One hopper off the body of Marte. Valbuena recovers, throws to first. Not in time. And Justin Turner beats it out to keep the inning alive.
That'll probably be an error on Marte. The ball right at him. He just never fielded it cleanly. Deflects off his body. By the time Valbuena could get over there and get to first base, they beat it out.
It is scored an error on Marte. Cesar Torres 0 for 3 steps in. Two and 0 the count. Shopik out for a visit. Huff trying to work his way through this 8th. By right, should be out of the inning. But he'll try to pick up his teammate Andy Marte. He committed the first Indians error today. Three balls, no strikes. And he walked him on 4 straight. Second walk allowed today by David Huff. And with 2 down, Matt Wieters will be the batter. Wieters 0 for 3.
We got a pinch hitter coming in now.
The pinch hitter is just now being announced.
Rodriguez. When you start seeing numbers in the 80s and the 70s, the high 70s, it's almost like a spring training game.
Guillermo Rodriguez. Oh boy, he swings at that first pitch. Pops it high in the air to right field, and Chu's got it. 8 shutout innings for David Huff, and the Indians are rolling 9-zip. manager, as he went 8 strong shutout innings here today. And his offense gave him a 6-run lead right out of the gate.
Yes, it did. Boy, that certainly helps. Very first inning, bottom of the first, they scored 6, and that was plenty of what David Huff needed today. Dennis Safarte comes up now. He will be the 4th pitcher for the Orioles this afternoon.
He'll face Luis Balbuena, who pops one out of play. Balbuena doubled and scored in the first. He walked and scored in the fourth. Balbuena, Asdrubal Cabrera, and Shin-Soo Choo here in the 8th for the Tribe. Sarfate misses outside. Actually called a strike, 0-2. Buena got a piece. And the 0-2. A little bit high. Back over the screen. Right-hander Jess Todd and right-hander Tomo Oka both loosening in that Indian bullpen. 1-2, down low. Balbuena lifts it in the air, left field. Luke Scott will grab it, 1 down. Well, it's Asdrubal Cabrera coming to the plate, a perfect 4 for 4 on the afternoon.
He's had the magic wand today.
I mean, every hit's been a little different.
Yeah. Now he'll turn on one here. Yes, indeed, a 4-hit day. They are rare, and he has a chance to get 5.
Sarfate misses up high for ball 1. Two balls, no strikes. Good fastball right at the letters. Out of play. Two balls, two strikes. Indians batting home half of the 8th. They lead it 9-0. Trying to finish off a sweep of the Baltimore Orioles.
Burr hanging tough.
And the 2-2. Weak bouncer towards third, fielded by Wigington on the off-balance throw, takes care of him. And the Orioles finally get Cabrera for the first time today. 2 down. And before Chu steps in, let's look at the result of the Alltel text poll question of the game. 73% of the audience going with Chris Carpenter of the St. Louis Cardinals, who very likely could win the Cy Young Award, although his teammate Adam Wainwright can give him a lot of trouble. Shin-Soo Choo 0 for 3, 3 strikeouts today. Caught a strike outside corner. Nothing into the count.
It's been 0-2, it seems like, all day long to Shin-Soo Choo. It was 0-2 back in the second inning when he was hit with a pitch.
Yeah. I mean, he could be looking at 4 already in the strikeout column. Fists this one and just bleeds foul. Sarfate, the set in the 0-2. High drive in the left. Luke Scott makes the grab. Indians go 1-2-3. And we will go to the ninth. 9-zip Cleveland. Provided by Goodyear. New Fuel Max tires help you get there on less gas. Calculate your savings at GoodyearTires.com. Well, the way the Indians have taken aim today, they put this one out of reach early with a 6-run first inning, highlighted by Kelly Shopik's 3-run homer. 2 in the fourth, 1 more in the seventh. David Huff made it stand up through 8. And now Jess Todd will come on to pitch the 9th inning. Lou Montanez, Luke Scott, Ty Wigington, the scheduled hitters for Baltimore.
Indians are looking for their 6th shutout this year, and the Orioles are trying not to get shut out, but if they do, it'll be the 10th shutout for them this year.
Swung on and missed. Checked on a ball down low. These two teams split a 4-game series in Baltimore. Now the Indians trying to sweep this 3-gamer. But these two teams will meet again earlier next year as the Tribe will visit Baltimore. It's third weekend in May.
No, we get rid of them early, huh?
Yeah. Now, I was mentioning earlier, every year there's a team, where you don't see them until late. And I started to say, next year it's Seattle. We don't play the Mariners at all until second weekend of August. That's here. We don't go to Seattle until the first weekend of September. 2-2, line drive, caught by Cabrera. That ball just seemed to have a parachute that came out of it at the end.
Yeah, it was off the end of the bat. So it wasn't hit as hard as it may have looked. It was a floater is what it was. Cabrera goes up. Thought he was going to have to jump a little higher.
Well, Luke Scott comes in 2 for 3 today. Indians shift 3 on the right side, and with that they flop the third baseman Carroll. They hop him over Cabrera, so he's actually on the second base side. They leave his Drupal by his lonesome on the left side. And Scott hammers it deep right. There is Chu, makes the catch. 2 down. And we'll have a look at our Northern Ohio Buick Pontiac GMC performance of the game as Drupal Cabrera 4 for his first 4 before they finally retired him his last time up. 5 times a 4-hit game.
That's
Cabrera.
Very impressive. Very impressive for Drupal.
Ty Wigington steps in 0 for 3. Just Ty delivers downstairs, ball 1. Stay tuned for the Conrad's postgame show. Comes your way right after we wrap things up here. Look back at the highlights. Get you set up for the final 3 home games of the year that start tomorrow night here at Progressive Field when the White Sox come to town. Just Todd sets, and the 1-1 pitch. A little bit outside. David Huff looking for his 11th win of the year. Just Todd can finish things up here. Two 2-1. Call and a strike evens the count. Now Todd with a 2-2. Swung on. Did he go? He did. First base umpire Todd Tishner rings him up. And the Indians win it in convincing fashion here today by a final score of 9-0. This series started with the Indians having lost 11 in a row.